So now that we have seen, smelled, and tasted, how do we assess wine? How do we determine what makes a quality wine and what doesn't? First of all, a quality wine is any wine that you like, and I will go to the mat for you on that. But when we're trying to establish this common vocabulary, we have to come up with certain ways to quantify what is actually a very subjective and qualitative process. Now, the WSET and the Society of Wine Educators use a similar acronym, or actually they use the same acronym, and that is BLIC. It stands for balance, length, intensity, and complexity. So these are what many learned and esteemed wine experts have determined are the different components, the different qualifications, if you will, to establishing wine quality. Let's talk about balance. Balance means that all of the different things we've talked about, all of the different flavors and aromas, all of the different structural elements are working in harmony with each other. No one thing is overpowering the others when it comes to the wine. I always sort of compare this to that person that is talking too frequently and too loudly at dinner. Why am I only hearing your voice? You will encounter wines that resemble exactly that, where there's one particular thing, say just this overpowering aroma of jalapeno, that kind of get in the way of enjoying some of the other characteristics. Length. Length refers to the finish. When you swallow a wine, and you'll also experience it when you spit, but for me, not quite as enjoyably. The length or the finish is the last impressions that you're left with, but also how long those impressions last. So believe it or not, some wines linger on the palate more than a minute, whereas an everyday drinking wine may only last a couple of seconds. Believe it or not, the length of the finish is considered a mark of quality when it comes to wine. So begin to pay attention to that. Now, intensity. I have a little bit of a hot take here because I think there's a difference between intensity and concentration, but some schools of study use them interchangeably, and I can explain why. However, for me, intensity is something that's just leaping out of the glass. And think about Sauvignon Blanc or Gewürztraminer, or I've got Tomcat and Granny Purse just jumping out at me. That doesn't necessarily mean that those wines are concentrated. They might be, but I've had some that are, and I've had some that aren't. True concentration for me, and remember, we're measuring quality, and not every quality wine hits you over the head with who it is and what it has to say. Some of them you have to lean into a little bit. True concentration is usually it's density. It's an actual function of yield. So typically a lower yielding vine will produce a higher quality wine because all of the resources of the vine went into a fewer number of grapes. It was divided among fewer things, so each individual berry got more love and attention, and it's going to give that love and attention back to you. Complexity, however, is pretty much universally accepted as a mark of quality. Complexity just means there's a lot to talk about. We could go to dinner and talk about the wine, even as we drink more wine. And this could be different areas of the wine. It could be, it has fruit, it has earth, it has mineral, it has wood, it has flowers, it has botanicals, it has lots of compound aromas. Or maybe it just has a few of those things, but very, very many types of fruit and many different parts of the fruit and fruit in different conditions. Whatever it may be, that all contributes to complexity. So the more that we have to say about it, the more notes that we're making on our grid, the more thoughts that we had, the more sense memories that it evokes, that's all complexity. And that is considered a mark of quality. So what we do if we want to quantify a wine as outstanding or very good or just acceptable is we count up how many marks we have. If we can say yes to balance, length, concentration, and complexity, technically that's an outstanding wine. If we can say yes to only one of them, that's an acceptable wine. If we can say yes to two, it's good. And if we can say yes to three, that's very good. Now, again, that's just a touchstone. What you consider outstanding is entirely a function of you. This is just something to get you started so that you can kind of compare and contrast your experience with others and communicate more effectively about wine. But rather than communicating about it, I think we're going to leave it there and we're just going to drink it. So, cheers. Is my hair in my face again?